Greetings and welcome back to Story Time with Mo's Minute, which was what my husband started calling this whenever I don't do a live video. Unfortunately, the subject of today's episode is a happening place, so it was always too crowded and too busy to film there, so that's why this week's segment is also not a live video. The good news is that I am extremely well acquainted with it. Because today we're talking about Kohl Mansion, also known as Mercy High School, of which I am a proud alum of the class of sorry, tickle in my throat. So, Freddie Cole was born in San Jose, but he was a well-known figure around the Bay Area, and his family owned a mansion that stood where San Mateo Central Park is now. He lost his first wife in 1900. I think it was due to appendicitis. And he married again due to Bessie Cole. And then Freddie had Kohl Mansion, known as the Oaks, and that name is still prominent around the Mercy community, built between 1912 and 1914. Bessie was a huge entertainer, and they became known for very swanky parties. And this is the mansion today. After Freddie's sister died, the family decided to take off to Europe for a while, and Freddie hired a woman named Adele Verge to be his mother's maid while they were traveling. But Adele was kind of a nut job, and you can see her. She's the woman on the right hand side of that picture there. Freddie's on the left. Yeah, she was kind of a nut job. And he had her fired and arrested after crazy behavior. And some people say that that crazy behavior involved a physical fight with the chauffeur. She then sued him, but she lost her case and then she shot him to get revenge. He recovered from the shooting, but the bullet had just missed his heart, so it stayed lodged in his chest. And he apparently lived the rest of his life in fear that she would come back and finish the job. So after that, he and Bessie ended up separating, and then she went off to Paris to sing for the troops. And Freddie settled with a mistress whose name was Marion Louderback Lord in the St. Francis Hotel and then later Monterey. But he never fully recovered. He was paranoid and he suffered health problems from the bullet still being in his chest. And then in 1921, he had a stroke, and though he kind of recovered from the stroke, he shot himself a month later. But the thing is that he probably didn't actually shoot himself. I mean, the story is that he did, but a lot of people believe that he was actually murdered. I remember meeting a nun my freshman year at Mercy who firmly believed that his death was due to homicide. And every Mercy girl will tell you that he never left the mansion. So if he had shot himself, would he really have, would he really still be haunting the school? Probably not. But he is still there. Even after his mistress sold the mansion to the Sisters of Mercy and they made it into a school, he likes to introduce himself to the students. Mercy girls were never allowed on the fourth floor, although we all went up there anyway. The reason for that was that it had been servants' quarters, so the rooms were too small for class and they were also used as storage. But the story was that we weren't allowed up there because that was where Freddie lived. The nuns always said that they found weird white powder all over the place, and I actually saw it myself when I snuck up to the fourth floor my freshman year. People also say that they hear voices and footsteps around, and most Mercy girls and teachers have a story about Freddie. In my English class freshman year, I was sitting next to the door, and even with the windows closed, the door suddenly opened, slowly, outward, like somebody was leaving the room. But nobody was leaving the room, and I was sitting next to the door, and I did not touch it. Later, during my junior or maybe it was my senior year, I saw a girl's books being pushed off the opposite side of her desk. I'm pretty sure she didn't push them. And even if she did, she probably would have pushed them off the right side of the desk where they were sitting rather than off the left side. So, like I said, every alumni will agree that that Mercy is haunted, and that is the story of Freddie. And I'm sure if you visit the school sometime, he'll make himself known to you. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you join us next week where we visit somewhere else that I haven't decided yet. Bye.